Shit. Now it started, I guess, right? Yeah, now it started, right? So if you go with these statistics, there are around 2562 publishers in the Romeo database, and it comes with 4 types of colors, color codes basically. So these color codes have some meaning, and these statistics are being shown over here, right? I hope all of you can see it, right? Is it visible?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. So for green code, that means they can be archived by the Romeo and Sherpa database, preprint as well as postprint. Now, preprint and postprint, according to Sherpa database, is pre-peer review, and postprint means after finalization and accepting that paper by the journal that I will go for publishing this. So green is the most comprehensive part. The archiving can take place for all the types of articles which came before peer review and which also comes post peer review. Now, why am I stressing on the word peer review is when we talk about good quality journals, the papers needs to be peer reviewed and double blind reviewed. You have heard these terms, right? So when we talk about peer reviews, that means there will be review of those papers blindly. That means the author and the other details of the authors will not be known, and the review comments will be coming, and the editor or the editorial group of the journal will see and will contact the author, ask him to rework on that, and accordingly come back with the revised paper. So when you talk about the green, if you see the numbers are, the percentage is 42%. The most of the papers in the Romeo database, around 1064 publishers, have the green code, which talks about can archive preprint. That means from the starting point to the finalization of the publishing of the paper. When you talk about blue, which is the second in the line, around 33%, it talks about can archive only post print. That means when the process of peer reviewing and all those things were going on, the archiving cannot take place for these publishers. Only when the paper is finally approved by the journal and all those review comments have been taken care by the author, and the editor approves, okay, this paper is ready to be published, then only the archiving will take place for the blue codes. For the yellow, the numbers is very, very less. It is 7% of the total as per the data which is available currently in the website of Romeo, can archive preprint only. So this data is not always very valid for reviewing literatures, because these papers which are archived, they are all pre-peer review. So since they are pre-peer review, definitely these papers are not final stages. There can be multiple peer review options which can come. There can be multiple suggestions which can come, and multiple iterations of the paper may happen. And according to the final paper will be a different story. So these types of, if you see the paper is being coded as yellow, then maybe those papers you can go through, but before referring, you need to think twice before considering those papers. And the last one is around 18%. Is archiving not formally supported. That means I will go to this option that you being a person, anyone can suggest any journal to Romeo database. That okay, I suggest that this journal should be in the Romeo database. And Romeo database will go through their screening process, will review all the steps, and accordingly decide that whether this will be accessed or this will be enrolled here or not. When this process is going on, after the initial screening, Romeo database include those journals in their database for a temporary period. And that is called archiving not formally supported, because the final decision making had not been taken place, but only for a temporary time period, those journals or those publishers are there in the database, and accordingly, those papers are available. So as a researcher, if we want to see the best quality papers, we should target for green and blue Romeo color papers compared to the yellow and the white. So this is how it shows the various statistics, and also it shows the distribution from various countries, right? And various areas, how much it comes, right? So you
This
can go
color
through.
coding applies to the journals also, or only the books?
No. This is for journals.
This is
This
for
is
journals. This is for journals.
book part
Yeah.
is over. Sir,
Right.
book part
Right.
is over. We
Correct.
are
Correct.
focusing on journal now.
Okay.
Whatever
Okay.
I am
So, sir,
discussing Sherpa, we are
sir,
focusing on journal only, the publishers only.
Correct. Correct. Yeah.
Publisher publishing journals. Now you can go
sir,
through.
one doubt, sir. Sir, I had one doubt.
Let me just complete this part, please. Let me just complete this part, then I'm coming back to the doubt, please. Yeah. So these are various statistics which are available, which you can understand from your own perspective. I'm not going in details. Right. Now, if we just go to this definition and terms, right? Whatever I have explained, these terms are there, and what preprint means, what postprint means, whatever I have explained, these all keywords are being mentioned. So you can go to the website, whatever I have explained, you can go through and accordingly get a better understanding. Right? Now, if you are going for seeing what are the publishers who are basically there in the Romeo database, right? So if you see this, this is the Romeo color code. And accordingly, you can select which are white publishers, which are yellow publishers, which are blue publishers, which are green publishers. And green is good. So we can select on green publishers. We can click on go, and accordingly, it will show all the green publishers, right?
What is the meaning of all these colors?
And on what basis they are providing these colors, sir?
Ma'am, sir, I have just explained. I have just explained the color codes.
Yes, sir.
I have explained these color codes. These are the color codes, right? Green means the archiving takes place pre-print to post-print. For a paper to be accepted by journal, say you want to get a paper published in a journal, what you need to do, you will get the call for paper. After getting the call for paper, you will see, okay, this is a journal which is related to my area of interest. I will write a paper for this, and I have written, I want to send it. So you will get an email ID, or you will get some online portals. You will send the paper. Once you have sent the paper to the journal or to the publisher, from that point, pre-print concept started. Once you will send, what the editor or the editorial team will do, the editorial team or the editor will see your paper, will understand, will see the initial level of formatting, the editorial guidelines are being followed or not. The plagiarism should be avoided. Plagiarism policies are followed or not. Initial, these types of screenings will be done by the editor and the editorial board. After that, they will allocate these papers blindly to reviewers of your domain. That means if you have submitted a paper in Journal of Marketing and your paper is in the domain of consumer behavior, they will go for the initial level of screening and ultimately send the paper to reviewers who are established researchers in consumer behavior. And they will be reviewing your paper in a blind mode. Blind mode means they will not be knowing who have written the paper. So, and after that, the reviewer will give comments. The editor will see the comments, send back the comments to the author. Author will act, again send back. And there can be multiple iterations which can take place between the author, editor, and the reviewer. And ultimately the paper will be finalized. This is the total process. And once the paper is finalized, the paper will be accepted by the publisher and the editor. Okay, the paper is now finally accepted, and accordingly it can be published in the journal. So from the moment I have sent the paper, that is the preprint, and postprint or publisher's version means once the paper is finally accepted. So green color code have those publishers whose articles are enrolled in Sherpa database starting from the initial scratchy version of the paper to the final version of the paper. This is green color. So if you see a green code publisher, that means the total process starting from the first iteration of the paper to the maybe the 10th iteration of the paper, all those versions are available. For a blue, it can archive only post print. That means the final version of the paper will be only archived. For yellow and white, only can archive the yellow, it can archive the pre-print. That means the final version will not be archived. And for white, there is no preprint or postprint. The journals or publishers which are under review by the Sherpa or Romeo database, that whether it is good or not, whether that can be enrolled in the Sherpa database, those publishers will be mentioned. So my request to you is that as a researcher, we should focus on green most as well as blue somewhat, because say for finding out a research gap, the initial level of paper which came before peer review, maybe it is not the final version, it is very scratchy, it will not be structured, but at least you can get some idea about in what domain research is going on. So that will help to get an idea about the research aspect. Now where you are getting the final...
Dr. Majumdar, sorry, but please can you repeat
just
that?
let me complete, ma'am, please. So once the paper will be finally published, that paper also will mention all the aspects of the paper, starting from objectives, hypotheses, findings, interpretations, implications, and all those aspects. So this green code, publishers are the best to study, according to me, as a researcher, because it will give you an access to all the papers. If you are only concerned for finding out the research gap, only research gap, you're not concerned with how to find out the methodology and all those aspects, you can somewhat go for yellow papers also. Silva ma'am, it is clear now, the codes? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Simi ma'am.
So for our reference, sir, it's better to go for the green papers, right?
Yes, that is my suggestion. That is my suggestion. This is not a rule, but a suggestion. Simi ma'am, please.
No, sorry, I think I just got a little distracted in between, and you mentioned something about getting a journal which is potentially still undergoing the peer review stage, which is marked as green. It
White.
comes up marked as white, and it's good to refer from, just to understand what's going on in that area.
Right, in that domain. Only research gap identification.
Only research gap identification. In line with that, I do not know if you have already said that. When I'm searching for a green journal,
Yes.
which has been already published,
Yes.
is the search going to throw the final publication of the journal, or it will throw the versions of all the stages?
No. It will show the final. If the final is not available, it will show the just version before final. If that version is also not available, it will show maybe the earlier version.
Perfect.
The latest version will be shown by the database.
Perfect.
Whatever is available. Whatever is available.
Can I ask the doubt? I'll forget it out now.
Please.
Yeah, I had just two questions. One is that quite some time back you said double-blinded review.
Double-blind peer review. Yeah.
So yeah, so that I wanted to understand what that peer review I have gone through. Double-blinded peer review is something which.
Can I just answer your question at the end of this session, please?
Okay, sir. And
please,
one more question is.
Please write down the question and please do ask me. I will answer. Right? Yeah. Please tell the second question.
Sir, can I attempt answering
question,
this one double-blinded?
Ma'am, we can have a discussion a bit later on, ma'am, please.
Okay, sir.
The second question is that here, since these are journals, so like the peer review is done for articles or journals. The journals will be a collection of articles, right?
Yes. Peer review will be done for articles, and ultimately a journal have a standard. If it goes for double-blind peer review, then that means whether an article is being accepted or not, it will go through that process.
So this process here, it shows for an article or for a journal here in Sherpa Romeo.
Sherpa
like
Romeo,
we were discussing the blue and green and
I've given an example of double-blind peer review. I've given an example. These are all the publishers. If you can see, sir, this is a publisher linked to full Romeo details.
Yeah.
These are publishers because I went through this publisher searching, right? Likewise, if you go to the journals, you can get the list of journals also. So it's up to you whatever you search. Because
So,
say
no,
for
here I understand.
example, if you talk about Sage as a publisher, Sage have more than 1,000 journals. So if you want to go to know the journals, you can go for the journals. If you want to know of the publisher, you can go for the publishers.
No, sir. What I'm asking is like this green, for example, the journal. If you go
Yes.
to the journal slide,
Yes.
there's a green journal which is showing as green.
Yes.
Even just click, yeah. So now what does
Then
this
this is
exactly
green.
mean? The journal is under peer review or an article in this journal is under peer review?
If a journal is having a policy of double-blind peer review, then all the articles must follow that. Otherwise, no paper, no article will be accepted for publication by that journal.
Okay.
Are you getting me?
Okay.
Because this policy does not come with the paper. This policy comes with the journal.
Right.
So if X journal is having that policy, then all the papers before accepting for final publication, it needs to go through this process.
Sir, can I ask
Okay.
something? Let's
Yes.
take, for example, we take an example wherein, we are searching for an article, effect of COVID-19 on the consumer behavior of Indian residents.
Fine.
Right. So if this is the question in place, so we will exactly be searching for articles, sir, right? And in a particular journal which is green listed.
Sherpa Romeo will not help you with articles. It will talk about journals.
Okay.
Are you getting me? Hello?
Okay.
Like in Google Scholar, we could find out articles, journals, all that. But in this, we will get only journals, right?
We need to go through any other indexing agency or searching agency to find out whatever journal to which a paper belongs. And if I want to check its authenticity, I can come to this Sherpa Romeo website and search with respect to journals or publishers, because this will not go by paper. Because when I talk about this journal, a current bibliography on African affairs, which is by Sage Publications, which is green, that means all the papers which are there, which are being published in this journal, will be following that policy. That is acceptable. That is 100% correct. So it will not go by paper, because paper, why we search? Because to find out our research gaps. This website, Sherpa Romeo, as I have said in the PPT slide also, to check the authenticity of the open access and all those stuffs, it goes for accessing and enrolling either the publishers or the journals. It has nothing to do with the research papers or reports or articles. Am I clear?
One small clarity.
Yes.
Where I'm getting confused is that our ultimate aim is to read the article inside the journal, isn't it?
Yes.
And we are judging the authenticity of the journal.
Yes.
So how we will, so that is the, you mean to say that is the starting point. After that, we will get into the journal and study the article. You mean to say that?
No.
Confusion.
Allow me to clarify if I have got it right.
Dr.
Let me
Majumdar,
just-
can I take a stab at just listing out the steps, and then maybe you can help us to say whether that is wrong or not wrong, and it can help us in registering in our heads a little better.
I'm not getting, ma'am.
Can I just say the steps that I understood? Maybe if you can identify
Please,
gaps
go
in
ahead.
that steps, then maybe all our friends.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
So the first thing I do is I search for either in DOAJ or in Google Scholar, we search for a journal/article. We look at that, it looks good for us, gives us good information, so we want to use it further, maybe also consider it for referencing in our thesis. So the next step is to look into how authentic or not authentic, or what good source does it come from? Is it an acceptable, really good source? To answer that question, that's when we will come to an indexing site like Sherpa or Romeo to see whether it is marked as a yellow, green, or blue. That will then tell us whether the article or the journal that I chose through the search engines is worth taking it forward. Is that the right way for the usage of the two tool sets that you have said, Dr. Majumdar?
Yes, I agree.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, it's fine now.
Yeah.
Shall we proceed? Yeah. So when we talk about these journals and we talk about these publishers also, we can check the authenticity and these aspects. Now, when we talk about this suggest option, what I was mentioning, you can suggest a new journal, you can suggest a new publisher, you can also suggest a new publisher policy. So if you feel that that journal needs to be enrolled in Sherpa Romeo database, you can definitely suggest. And there are some messages which you can do. If you click on this suggest a new journal and that journal is not enrolled, you need to give this basic information about the journal and you can submit the details. From that moment, the Sherpa Romeo database will start reviewing that specific journal with respect to the Sherpa Romeo standards, right? So you can also go for this support us option, what I was mentioning, that you can support this movement by investing anyone and anyone can support this Sherpa Romeo movement, right? So this is all about this Sherpa Romeo project aspect. Now, yes.
So, Dr. Majumdar, so
Yes.
essentially the purpose is to look at the quality of the journals from where we are borrowing the papers.
Definitely. What happens is that if you talk about, if you go through the Swadhyay,
Yeah.
whatever contents I have uploaded, I have given around 50 to 60 URLs there. And I have given headings that those URLs can be used for searching research papers. Some URLs can be used for searching maybe thesis. Some URLs can be used for searching maybe articles, maybe reports, maybe books, likewise, right? Now, from all those URLs, don't expect that all will be 100% high level quality standards and quality benchmark.
Okay.
Those are all the sources. Ultimate decision is between you and your supervisor, whether to accept a paper or not. Why Google is so popular? Because Google index everything under this earth. If you talk about anything, it is there in Google. The same case applies for Google Scholar also. So when I talked about Mendeley, when I talked about my earlier sessions, today also I will stick with that point that Google Scholar is the best source, because if you, from the initial point of searching research papers and review of papers, you go to various other things. Maybe in Google Scholar, you can do a screening and accordingly, you can go ahead using these various multiple sources.
Okay.
Now these multiple sources are, this is just like a basket in front of you. Whatever you will be using, it's up to you. And you can use as per your understanding, as per your comfort zone also, as per your subject also. When we talk about management, the next thing which I will be showing and I will be sharing with you is the digital library, right? I should not say.
Before you go into digital library, I got a little bit confused with the last statement that you made, which was Google indexes everything, Google Scholar, which is fine, it's known. Then you said that that can be used as a as a screening kind of a thing. We can shortlist from there and go to the various sources that you have listed.
Yes.
One of which is the DOJ/DOAB.
Yes.
My question is, what is the value add of getting into that when I'm already getting into DOAB or DOAJ after going to Google search, if I'm already getting it there?
Okay. Google does not work for anything, right? Their job is only indexing. Like if any article or any journal or any book is not under DOAB or DOAJ, there is no concept of Google Scholar indexing that. So what Google Scholar is helping you, it is providing you a easy pathway to search that. Nothing else than that. Since it is already indexed in DOAJ and DOAB, you can get a result from Google Scholar. Otherwise, it was not possible. So that's
exactly the question. That's exactly the reason of my question, that if I've already got it in Google, it essentially means it is either there in DOAJ, DOAB or some other index engine.
Yes.
Right? So what will I get additionally
Ah,
in DOAB or DOAJ or DOAB if I've
Yes.
already found that article in Google search?
right.
What's the value add?
In Google search, if you find, if you just explore, maybe tonight or maybe day after,
Mhm.
and you select any topic of your choice and go to Google Scholar and search, you will find articles, you will find research papers which are very, very, very poor quality, very, very, very sometimes supreme quality, which are not sometimes relevant. And what happens is that you will sometimes find good quality papers in Google Scholar, but maybe the reference frame of those papers will be a bit earlier. That means 40 years old paper, 50 years old paper. The fresh papers comes to Google Scholar later on. So for
Okay.
those aspects, if you go for these sources, it will, since these are all officially open accessed, these will give you recent papers also. Because for finding out the research gaps, it's very important to know what people others are doing. Because I think that, okay, this is a very novel concept which I'm working upon, but maybe many others are doing. So for that, maybe DOAJ, DOAB and other source, whatever I will be sharing with you, it will help you to go for addressing those issues.
Okay, just to ensure that I've got it right.
Yes.
So any new research papers, one is
Yes.
of course DOAJ, DOAB will help me with identifying using the index engine of Sherpa and all of that, can
Yes.
help me in identifying the authenticity, the relevancy and the acceptability.
Just
of
one thing,
the-
ma'am. Just one thing, ma'am. Sherpa Romeo is a separate aspect.
Absolutely.
DOAJ, just let me say for 1 or 2 sentences, maybe I have made you confused, all of you. Sherpa Romeo is a different topic altogether. It can be used by us to find out the authenticity of the publisher or the journal. It will
Agreed.
not help you to find out any research paper. We can
No,
find
agreed.
any research paper for DOAJ or DOAB or any other sources. So these are two
Agreed,
different
Dr.
concepts.
Majumdar. Agreed,
Okay.
Dr.
That was the
Majumdar. I
that
think
was
I
the
spoke
question
too
I
fast. I spoke too fast, I guess. So
was
the
initially
point that I was
asking.
trying to make is DOAB and DOAJ will help me in finding research papers / journals which have potentially not yet been publicly published or made available.
Maybe. I'm not saying 100% it will be correct, but maybe.
Okay,
No,
so
Dr.
that's the
Majumdar,
search and
potential
go.
value add.
To
Dr.
search and
Majumdar,
look.
this
Yes.
particular website which is on the screen
Yes.
is from Pakistan. Now, there are websites in Pakistan where we can access and download a lot of stuff. This is, I'm talking from my earlier experience, and we can get articles. Now, this one website is ending with .pk, which means that this website is a Pakistani website. So, do we get this a lot of PDF files which are not available in US, UK, or Indian websites, but Pakistan allows downloading?
Yes. I was supposed to say, because maybe I was not saying in the public platform about this Pakistan aspect. We need to remember one thing. What I also faced as a researcher is that when you go for established Taylor and Francis, Elsevier, Springer, all these established publishers, we are sorry to say, but it's a fact that the number of research papers from Indian context are very, very less. So when you
Absolutely,
get a paper,
we got to find that while we were doing our own lit review. You
yes.
know, on an Indian
So-
context, very less.
Yes. So what happens is that when you find a paper there, maybe it is a very good paper, the research gap is there, but maybe somebody have done in maybe Tamil Nadu or maybe somebody have done in Jammu and Kashmir, we don't know. So for that, these types of things will help us at least to get us information from the SAARC countries and in and around, which have some relation to our aspects. We will not get these papers there in the established thing. So I should not make this official statement, although I'm making.
Correct.
When we go for searching, we should not only stick with the established 4 or 5 established publishers that, okay, we will go for Elsevier, we go for Springer Nature, we will go for Sage. We should come down also to find out whether those papers are having relevance, because when I'm a researcher, I'm a decision maker. So I can take a decision whether to accept or not. So for that, if I go for only reviewing those papers which are having a high level of conceptual framework, maybe that thing we cannot implement here. Second thing, which I think will be very much relevant for all of you. Please remember one thing, that you are not 100% researchers. That means you are not on a research role. What you are on a part-time PhD program. For that, what happens is that a researcher who is working on IIM Bangalore and he's spending 4 years, 100% on research, maybe his domain and his aspects will be somewhat different and lookout will be somewhat different from you. Your core competency and experience from the industry will help you to decide on the framework. You need to get research papers to justify that. So sometimes these shortcut techniques will help us to find out, okay, this is good, and this will help us to go for getting the right references.
No, but a follow-up question on this is
Yes.
that instead of using google.co.in, that is
Yes.
the Indian website, I tried and found out that google.co.pk, which is Pakistan,
Yes.
has a whole lot of downloadable material. I know that there is some sort of a replica of our servers, Google servers, from our Indian servers getting mirrored in Pakistan. But I get a whole lot of PDF files, which otherwise in google.co.in it is not available. So it's okay, right? That way to find out more articles.
That's a very good option.
And one more thing, just on the addition to that, one article I found in Google Scholar, not downloadable, we cannot download it there. Whereas when I went to simple google.com, I was able to download it. So I was just wondering, why it is so.
No, but even you will get much more in Pakistan. So google.com is US, but Pakistan will give you much more freedom.
Fine. That debate.
Do we have a
Just I
Pakistani
want to
website for
say,
Scholar also, or only for Google? No,
I'm talking of Google, normal
only Google. Okay.
the subdomain is there. So what we were discussing are some tools. It's up to us how we use that, right? I have mentioned about JSTOR to all of you, right? JSTOR is a very reputable storage of research papers, books, and so many other things. Now, when you go for JSTOR, there are so many aspects by which we can go for getting papers which are maybe 60 years old, but they are very relevant. Say, for example, when we talk about core theories of any domain, right? When we talk about, say, consumer behavior, and we talk about theory of planned behavior, it's a core theory, right? For that, you will get a lot of stuffs freely available in Google that you can definitely access, use that, build up your understanding, and use it as per the convenience and as per customization in your own research, right? So let me just proceed because I am having only 10 minutes, I guess. So I am just going to the next source. This source I have shown, this is the, is my screen visible? I guess no, right?
No.
No, sir.
No.
Right. Now it's visible, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry. So when we talk to this open access thesis and dissertations, if you just go to the slide, whatever I have prepared for you, when we talk about thesis, definitely we will be focusing on Shodh Ganga, which is Indian repository, and we will talk about OATD. Now, when we talk about open access thesis and dissertations, this is the OATD. This is also officially open access. Please go through this symbol. This means it is official open access, and you can search for thesis all across the globe. Now, your same question will come that if you go to Google and study and search something, Google will give you results. No doubt about that. Google will give you results. Google Scholar will give you results for thesis also. But if you're focusing on specific thesis on some specific domains, you can go for OATD, which is one of the other tools which I'm suggesting to you, which you can use, refer, and accordingly use as per your need. Now, when you talk about here, say for example, let me just change my keyword, go for consumer behavior, and let us go for searching, right? So we are getting so many things, right? So we are getting so many theses from so many universities, and you can go through these theses and ultimately find out the most relevant thesis which you can use. It is freely available. You can download. Sometimes it is not available for download. You can go for just like a Kindle. You can go for a HTML search. That means you can search over in this hovering window. But you can get to know about the variables and all these things. Because what happens is that unlike Shodhganga, I am coming to Shodhganga with respect to Indian context. This OATD is Open Access Thesis and Dissertation Database or the repository. Many universities all across the globe have a tie-up with it, and they are going through the open access criteria, open access perspectives and parameters, which made their thesis openly available. So for those cases, you can download by chapters or all those aspects. But maybe for others, it is not downloadable form. You can access the online version, but that will also suffice your purpose, because you are supposed to know some specific parameters. When you search for, go for your literature review, it is very, very important to search thesis. The reason is definitely if you go to Swadhyay, if you go to our website, ICFA University Jharkhand's website, you will get the thesis which have been awarded from our university. You can go through those. Additionally, you can go through this OATD for getting all across the globe, whatever thesis had been submitted. And the best possible source for this is Shodhganga, right? So for Shodhganga, you can get thesis. It is by InflipNet. It is a reservoir of Indian thesis, which was a project which was being started by Government of India under MHRD, which is a repository of thesis. And if you see this, these are the total number of theses. Around 2,73,000 theses are there. 7,650 synopses are there. 451 universities are contributing to this. These are some statistics, and you can go for selecting the universities also. That okay, I want to go for Savitribai Phule Pune University. You can click on that.
Can you show ICFA over here?
I'm showing ICFA University Jharkhand. Please bear with me, because Shodhganga website from today morning it is not working fine. Let me see whether it gives the result. It has given the result. So you see, these are the keywords based upon which, and these are the years in which the thesis had been submitted. These are the language, and these are the numbers. So in chemistry, around 590 theses have been submitted. In commerce, around 430 theses have been submitted. So let us, what we do, as you have suggested, let us go with ICFA University Jharkhand.
Professor Majumdar, one quick question.
Yes.
Can we access foreign universities like Harvard and MIT?
For?
From this Shodhganga?
No. Shodhganga is for India. Indian universities are having MOU. Around 500 something universities are having MOU. Shodhganga is for Indian thesis. Sir, it is written a reservoir of Indian thesis and InflipNet. For Harvard and other things you can get in Google. We need to search and we can get from some different sources, the way you have suggested also, sir. We can also try it out that, because that helps. On a serious note, that helps.
OATD, can we go to OATD and find out thesis from Harvard and other places?
Okay, we will search, we will try. Let me show first ICFA University Jharkhand, then I am going. So what I have done, I have searched for ICFA University Jharkhand. So we have got other ICFA universities. Let us click on ICFA University Jharkhand. Right. So these are the theses which have been submitted, right? 24 theses have been submitted. All are in English. One is English US, so it's English. It shows the year also. in which it has been submitted, and it shows the various domains also, right? And these are the some of the thesis. Say for example, if I talk
It's not
about,
necessary to be the paper to be in English, like it can be done in regional languages also.
Yes. That is being allowed in Indian under UGC also. So that's the reason why they have given the language option.
Okay.
Because you can go for a PhD in Hindi also, right, ma'am? So that's the reason why they have given this. For management, it depends on the university as per the UGC regulations. So likewise, say for example, I am going to this, say performance of initial public offering IPO so and so done by Akinchan Buddhadev Sena under the guidance of Dr. Bal Mukund Singh. So if I click on this, now the not the good part of Shodh Ganga is it will give you chapter wise aspects, because when we upload also it will show you the chapters. So what you get the bibliography as a chapter, you get the introduction, you get the review of literature, and likewise you are getting all those aspects. So you will not get the consolidated thesis. So my suggestion will be, if you want to get an access to the thesis which has been awarded by ICFA University Jharkhand, you can go to Swadhyay, or you can go to our website, because you will get the full PDF version which you can use. For searching thesis from other universities, other IIMs, IITs and other universities of India, you can go with Shodh Ganga and find out. Here also the aspect is there. You can set the title, the name of the researcher, the guide, the keywords, the abstract is mentioned, because once the thesis is uploaded, all these things are being mentioned, and accordingly the URL is there, right? And accordingly you can search. This is about the Shodh Ganga aspect, which you can use for searching multiple theses, because you should not limit your review for thesis with respect to the 24 theses which are there. You definitely need to go for outside. So for that, Shodh Ganga will be helping you a lot, right? Now, what he was searching, he was saying about Harvard Business Review. Yeah, you can go ahead with the question. In the meantime, I can search. Please.
How did you go to your university? You searched something or?
Yes. I'm just showing you once more. On the home page, I'm going to the home page, please wait. On the home page, you're getting this search button, right?
Okay. There
you can also go for a Google search, right? Okay. So we are not going with Google search. You can type the ICFA University Jharkhand. Say you want to search thesis on consumer behavior. You are interested in domain. You are not always interested in the university. So you can go for consumer behavior and search. Then what it will do is that it will give you the results of consumer behavior. It will search in the keywords.
Okay.
Right? It will search in the keywords and it have given some results. Okay. And you can search like this, right? This is how it has shown.
Professor, I have a question.
Please go ahead.
So you have showed us so many different, access tools are there. Yes. And there is a sea of knowledge and sea of resources that we can access to write our review of literature. Right. Now, during our statistical class, we learned that there is a way that how we arrived at a sample size, mathematically way. And so, is there a way, or is there a magical number that we are looking at the review of literature? Because if I'm, for example, if I'm writing my thesis on consumer behavior on electrical cars, I mean, you go across the globe, there are so many theses would have been written, and if I can, I can keep on reading. That there's no end to it. There are so many tools which are available. So, is there a review literature which is number, like if I do it 15 review of literature, my guide would say, okay, yeah, this number is sufficient enough?
No. The answer is no, because when you're doing review of literature, as I have said, from the starting point, for finding out the research gap, finding out the topic, finding out the research area, your review of literature starts. So it can go up to 500, it can go up to 1000. The more you read, it's better. But it is not humanly possible to read all the research papers in your domain, whatever you are searching upon. So when we present, if you see the viva voce of the various presentations, PhD defense which had happened, recording of the viva voce, we always need to use as per as the searching which we have done, because there is no end. I remember one of my scholar was presenting, and one reference papers who had been referred in the thesis, luckily he was one of the examiners, and we have referred his model. So that was a very rare case. So he said, okay, because he's a gem of that person, because we have referred his theory, and he was saying, okay, this model you have referred. So this thing can happen. So it is not always possible that, okay, I will go for 500 literature or I will go for 5,000 literature, but you can limit yourself to an aspect of maybe as much possible exhaustive literature review, so that whatever you're saying, it should have a baseline. The baseline is very, very, very important. So that after 1 year of researching or 2 years of researching, somebody will say, no, this is not a good literature review. My request is nothing to worry so much, because supervisors, university, all the faculty members will be guiding you, helping you to crystallize your research area.
So
right?
That means it's a human judgment. That
yes, it's a human judgment. There is no AI principle which can be applied, or machine learning technique which can be applied to decide on the number. It's not like sample. Okay. Somebody was asking me about Harvard Business Review in OATD, right? So I have searched with Harvard University, not Business Review, Harvard University. We have got some, right? You can find on the left-hand side, it have shown here, right? Some departments. So we are getting from this. Okay, here we have not got no records match. So we have not got here. Let me go back. This thesis I have got. Maybe some you can get based upon whether whatever you are looking for, if it is there in the OATD, definitely it will help you. Otherwise, maybe you need to go for some other sources, right? So let me just go through here. So I am done up to, we have done open access publishing, OATD, open access book. We have understood about Sherpa Romeo. We went for digital libraries, and we went for OATD, that is open access thesis.
Sir, the way you are making us understand, it seems so easy, but when we will actually start doing, then only we will start facing the challenge.
That's the reason why I have requested all of you. I have started a thread in the discussion also, that please install Mendeley. How many of you have installed Mendeley? How many of you have not installed Mendeley?
Okay, I have installed Mendeley, both the desktop and the app in the phone.
That's
so
great.
That's there. But I think the greatest challenge, Dr. Majumdar, for me even now is, what should be my strategy for literature review, given the huge number of tools and sources and
absolutely.
Yes.
What should be my strategy?
And Professor Majumdar, before you answer her question, I want to add to that.
Yes.
That the strategy is the same question which I am asking, that after downloading so many items in Chrome and doing a sync, you showed us how to do a sync. I am now flabbergasted with thousands of links there, and all got messed up. My Mendeley is a Z horror show now. It's pretty bad.
So that's the reason why in the morning I have said web importer is a good option. Web importer, using web importer, somebody was asking me.
I selected all and added everything. But then
okay,
I don't know
please
what to
delete
do.
all. Please delete all. You can do a delete. My request to you who are confused, my two requests to all of you is that somebody was asking me in the morning that whether if I have searched an article in DOAJ, can I use the web importer? The Mendeley web importer is a single app, which if you search in Google Scholar, if you search in DOAJ, if you search in anywhere, you can access, you can go through that. But what will happen is, what Mr. Mukherjee is saying now, that will be the problem which I have mentioned in the morning also. For that reason, my request is, if you can download the paper, spend some time, go through that, and accordingly add in your Mendeley library, it will be better. As a researcher, please, you need to understand one thing, which I hope everybody will agree also. It is not like a semester MBA program, and there is no defined syllabus. Nowadays, UGC came with 4 courses, 3 courses. This course needs to be taught fine. Earlier days, there was no courses. It was only an open-ended thing. Now, UGC is trying to make it defined. So you need to read. What 3 R's VC sir have mentioned in his lecture, it's very, very, very important. These all things, whatever different faculty members had been discussing since last week, and we will be discussing also, these are tools. But ultimately, you need to judge. These all tools, whatever we are discussing with you, personally, I was also not knowing so many tools when I have done my research, maybe even 2 years back. Once I went through the process, I learned. And that's the best part of learning. So these baskets, and if you go to the Swadhyay content, you will get more confused because I have given around 60-70 URLs. You can use those URLs, but it's up to you how much you use. So for a just one-liner to this, my suggestion will be, you can use DOAJ, you can use OATD, you can use Shodhganga, and you can use Google Scholar to screen whether a research paper is perfect for my research topic or not. If you go through this process, then definitely everything will be taking its shape slowly. Nothing to worry. We will be discussing tomorrow because I've overshoot my time. Mridani sir, I am so sorry. I will just 2 more minutes, take 2 more minutes. Tomorrow we will be discussing from after Rajkumar sir's class about how to select journal for publishing, right? There are so many tools nowadays. And in today's age, the biggest problem is to find out the right tool and right way, because thanks to Google, you have ocean of information. Whatever Sherpa Nomio I have said, and so many other aspects, there are so many tools. If you go through those, spend some time in the Swadhyay portal, there are some links which are only active up to maybe more 11 days, because 31st July, they will be closing their free access. Springer also have free access for multiple books. You can download and maybe you can read it at your own pace later on. But maybe that free access will be gone. So COVID is helping us in this way. So this is how I can guide, and rest of the things definitely we will be in touch and we can talk. Am I clear? Or
Yes.
I'm not clear, I guess. But maybe I can give some insights.
Somehow.
Some insights. So that.
Professor Majumdar,
Yes.
Mendeley is giving a message that they are upgrading their systems. I hope they are not moving into the chargeable platform. I hope it will remain free for us.
Let's pray. Let's pray. If Mendeley becomes chargeable, we will go for some other tools. I will discuss some other free tools,
Okay,
and we can have a discussion on it. No issues. Right. BibTech keys. There are others are there. So I don't think Mendeley will go for this, but God knows what will happen. So if it goes for those, we will have sessions for going for other referencing tools. There are so many others. Okay. Okay. So I end my session here. So what I will discuss tomorrow is about this UNESCO library, which is a very rich resource. We will be discussing about open access library, and we will be discussing about UNESCO library, and we will be discussing about Project Gutenberg. Project Gutenberg gives you a lot of ebooks. They are not about DOAJ, but they give you a lot of ebooks. I will be discussing these 3 URLs tomorrow, and then I will be discussing about the journal finder and journal suggesters tomorrow, right? Thank you so much for your patient hearing. Let me stop my screen share so that Mridani sir can start.
We will definitely have to get back to you.
This is a daunting work actually.